Welcome in ATB Show at The Buzzer. You can go to atbshow.com and find all the things about all the stuff. You get Rubber Shoes and me. Everyone else trapped in hair and makeup. And I before we got here, also delivered immaculately each week by our dear friends Joe and Leslie over at AAA Work Trucks. I noticed in the team chat, in the green room chat, there was a scuttlebutt about Malone getting fired. It's been a few hours. I think that's been because it's been all over the TV up here that I was watching that. So, what do you attribute that to?
The GM and the coach were both fired.
I saw the Malone thing, so I wasn't sure beyond that. But okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, what?
The only thing I can speculate on is that Jokic had a problem. He's the only one I think that all of a sudden I could be like, yeah, this isn't, because they've been he's been putting up crazy numbers and they still been losing because there's no team around him. It's basically him and Jamal Murray sometimes if he decides to play.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that either he doesn't like what the coach is doing and definitely doesn't like what the GM's done.
Yep.
And that he's like, you need to get rid of him or I'm going back to Slovenia or wherever he's from.
Is he Serbia?
Serbia. So one of the S's. Slovakia.
I feel like
those.
I want to say he was on the Serbian team last year because they almost knocked us out of the Olympics. They were one of the final difficult games that we had. Interesting. Let's talk about last night. Like, I know it was a good close game. It was so frustrating to watch though. Like the way Houston, like I put in the chat earlier, I'm sure you saw it. I was like, the lights were too bright. Like you didn't see it. Okay. How do you bungle the end of that game so bad?
I was watching this.
Oh, you weren't watching the final?
No.
I'm so confused.
I was watching the Reds. If the Red Sox are on, they are my. Unless it's
apologies. Okay.
Playoff Celtics or playoff hockey. Like the Red Sox are my number one.
I get that.
I have 10,000 different jerseys of different teams. The Red Sox are my number one of all sports, everything.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. I just I thought because it was the final and you were pro Florida that you would be watching.
The only reason why I would have been, I didn't even pay attention to the score or anything because our pool was sewn up on Friday night. So I couldn't win it. My nephew had already locked it up on Friday night. So I was like, I don't care about this. I can't even come in second place. First and second place were already taken care of Friday night. So Saturday night. I had no interest.
Yeah.
No interest.
Okay. Oh, I got you. I watched it because I didn't want to get admonished tonight on the show for not watching it.
Oh.
And I because we were out last night. We had a board event last night, but I didn't. By the time I got home, I'm like, oh shit, gotta pop that on. And just Houston, so frustrating. What a horrifying end to that game.
So basically, they did what Duke did Saturday night to them.
Yeah. I was just like, I'm like, that was
a basket in the last 27 seconds.
And for it to end with him jumping and he's coming down and he can't touch it. So now he's trying to pick out so somebody can get, like, you're watching it all unfold. And God bless, his name escapes me, the Houston head coach. There's been so many videos online of the play taking place and the isolation cam on him. And he stays stoically and he's just like this. He's like,
what the hell just happened? Basically.
Yeah, he's watching his life flash before his eyes. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I say this year, light's too bright. Like, Houston's obviously going to be around. Again, we say that, and there's NIL and there's movement and all this kind of stuff. But they've got a good program. They're going to be in the conversation and continue to be in the conversation. But holy smokes, talk about letting one go. I mean, never mind the 12-point deficit, all that kind of stuff. They just mishandled their last. I think Adam had said it too. The last 4 to 5 possessions were just.
So
they lit themselves on fire. It was terrible.
If everyone's gonna catch on after this year or if it's gonna take a few seasons. But so I went into this when I picked my pool, I pretty much, except for like the 8 and 9s playing each
Mm,
other,
mm.
I went the top seed all the way through to the Final Four, and all the number ones made it. And so
Yeah.
that at that point, you have to pick between the number ones. But
You know me. I've got a horrible process. I go
yeah.
like all the Jesuit schools, and that like I always try to grab an outlier in the first or second round of an upset. And I don't know. I don't know. I looked. I think out of 16, I think I finished 12th in the Corey family fiasco. I was like 12. I was 12 of 16, I think.
I think Chernick was last. He was last. Corey jumped up because he had Florida winning it all, so he got the points the last night. I will get the official standings.
Mm-hmm.
So my nephew Luke won.
He won the whole thing. I saw that.
Yeah. My brother's girlfriend Jackie came in second. My brother came in third. I came in fourth. Corey came in fifth. All of us picked Florida to win.
Mm.
My cousin's son, Ethan Corey, came in sixth. He picked Duke. Stephanie came in seventh. He picked Duke. She picked Duke. Tyler came in eighth. He picked Florida. Brian, Uncle Brian, ninth. Yep. And then the first Auburn person, my cousin Sean, 10th. Scotty Dukes, 11th, picked
12.
Duke.
I was 12.
12th. Emmett picked Auburn. You were 13th.
13. Oh, my God. 13 of 16. That's terrible. Even with my shitty choices.
You could tell these three people did real bad because these three people picked Duke to win the final three, 14th, 15th, and 16th.
Yeah.
They didn't even they had they must have had bad Final Four picks. They must have picked like the 2 seeds or the 3 seeds to make it to the Final Four. So that's the thing with this, that I was going into it like usually I look into it a lot, look to try to find the higher the Cinderella stories in the first round. One, I didn't think they were going to happen, and they didn't. Other than I think there was one 12 seed, I think won.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was Arkansas was I think a 10th seed. Those were like
Kansas.
Two double-digit seeds that advanced. It was pretty, and I think because of the NIL, this is what's going to happen until they fix it. Because Duke's going to replace Cooper Flag.
Do you think he doesn't run it back? You think he's gone? I think there's less movement. There's less of a rush. And yes, the reason he goes is he's hand over fist. He's the number one. He's the preeminent number one pick. Yes. So of course you leave, and to stay to add a trophy to that column of his life. He's not going to make less money. He's going to make more money staying at Duke with NIL or going, quite honestly, and I hope he doesn't, quite honestly. I hope he stays at Duke if he stays. But like we just saw it happen, and this is going to kill you. Give me some grace. You saw Holly Van Lith go to 3 different schools and just pursue the paycheck, right? And now she's coming out and she'll be in the WNBA. And I think they're all that. Like this is the pea soup that we created for ourselves. So if he does go somewhere else, I don't think there's a reason to.
It's the same. Call it the last 2 quarterbacks for Notre Dame. They got an NIL, and I'm sure they're going to pick another one up this year. Which
there's just no rush to leave. I think Cooper should stay, get a title, and then go. Because there's no financial rush. It's not like I'm trying to buy my parents a house. Like you already have Duke money, and I don't know what he's getting, but
curious to see what the deadline is to
declare.
To declare for the draft, because if
it's in 20 minutes,
if you can wait until the ping pong balls drop and then you find out the Wizards have the first pick, you'd be like, oh yeah, I think I'm going back to college. You know, like if it's San Antonio and you have a chance to go with Wemby and possibly win championships like next year,
yep,
you go in a heartbeat. But
God,
if you're
Cooper
going
and Wemby
Wizards,
on the same team. Yeah,
I mean, they did it with Duncan and Robinson. Like Robinson got hurt, they ended up getting the first pick for Duncan.
That was nasty.
It smells so familiar, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
That Wemby and Cooper together. That's
the only reason I would want Cooper to come out now is the sooner, if in our dream sequence that I know I've verbalized to you, the sooner he comes out and joins his first shitty team, the faster he gets through his freshman contract and becomes available, because he can also, like, he can steer where he's going to go from there. And he can be like, okay, and we got to wait 5 years, but 5 years in, he joins the Celtics.
Right. The only thing with the way that it's set up in the NBA, that if you stay with your team that you drafted, they're the only team that can give you a super max. So if you leave, you can't get as much money. So it depends.
Okay,
do you want to play? Do you want to play for your childhood team, or do you want to make? At that point, he's going to be. What was Jaylen Brown? He was the highest paid last year. Like $60 million a year.
Yeah.
In 5 years, what's it going to be? $100 million a year.
It's going to be gross. Well, he could also. It's going to happen. I mean, it's the Eli Manning thing all over again. He could be like, listen, okay, Washington, you have the ping pong ball, and you're going to make a deal with the Celtics. I mean, right? I mean, and the position for it right now, no, because you just got Chisholm in place, and they got a lot of sorting out to do before they do something like that. But that we're going to start to see that kind of stuff, and nobody's allowed to get upset because we created this fucking mess with NIL and all. I don't hate the NIL thing. Like it is what it is. It was coming to a theater near us, but it's getting to a point where there's no more black and white. There's a million shades of gray. There's no reason for a kid to rush off or worry about being a top 10 pick. You're seeing it right now with Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is like going to meetings. He's like, I don't really want to fucking be here.
Yeah.
And he probably doesn't have any more eligibility, but he could stay and do a graduate year with Colorado. I think he's expired all of his time. I don't know. And, they could hang back, much to your point. Like, I mean, they all have to declare for the NFL, but the old rule used to be if you didn't sign with an agent, you could about face.
Yeah.
But they all have agents now because they get their agent in the fucking 8th grade.
So,
because Friendly's Ice Cream calls them and says, do you want a contract? And they're like, I love ice cream. I will take that.
Something I heard today on the way home is the NFL, speaking of drafts, NHL draft, so as it sits right now, I think the worst the Bruins can do is 6th.
But we're going to start Joe Milton, and they're going to... Sorry, I'm still scarred. And the other day, I wanted to jump into the chat and kick Scotty in the face, and I love him so much. But he's like, are you still hanging on to the fact that we won that game and we screwed ourselves? Yeah. Is anybody letting go of that? Did I miss something? Yeah, I'm still pissed about that. That was the dumbest shit in America.
Right.
We had the number one pick.
You could pick whoever you wanted, or right now we're speculating who might fall to you.
You had all the cards, all the balls, whatever analogy you want to use. When he jumped into the fucking chat and he's just like, because I wrote like he lost us number one. He's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, he's pushing buttons. He's starting to fight, but I'm game. I'll do it. And I'm like, what? And he's like, oh, you're still holding on to that? How can you not be? We had the whole map. We had the whole sandbox to play in. And now we're like hoping that the right person falls to us. And the person we want, Carter, is not going to be there.
So, a lot I've listened to today, they're saying that his stock has dropped. So there's people that speculating or trying to figure out why, like, what is it? is it his foot that people are still worried about, or is there some intangibles that he's like maybe not the best guy or something, you know?
Yep. Yep.
So because they're like all the mock drafts that they were going over had pretty much had Carter follow. Actually, the one of them had Carter available at 4,
That's,
but them
oh.
trading to the Bears and then
Mm.
picking Campbell at 10.
Huh.
But getting an extra pick for it. But
That's
so
fucking
I was gonna
aggravating.
say about the
The
NHL
Bruins. Yeah.
draft, the Bruins, they're gonna be sitting I mean, it's anywhere from 1st to 6th. And one of the players who is in that mix is kid from BC that's supposed to go in the top
Donovan
5 or
Azaraco.
6.
Right? Stud.
But they were going over some of the guys. Oh, there's this guy, what was his last? It's a French Canadian kid.
Yep.
He's 6'3", 208, and they compare him to the Kachuk brothers.
Really?
Yeah, they're like he's a power forward.
Oh,
Like
I thought you said the BC kid, and in my head, I immediately thought we were talking football. That's why I said Donovan Azaraco.
No,
I'm
the
having a
BC
stroke.
kid,
Sorry.
he's like 5'11", 177, and they're like, wow, he's way too small.
Oh, for the draft, he's on BC right now.
Yeah,
and he's going to be a draft prospect.
He played with Leonard on Leonard's line.
Oh, he's the third kid. So Leonard, Perreault. Oh God, that's a great question because Perreault's gone to the Rangers. Leonard.
Did it begin with an H, like Hashik? I want to say it like Hashik or something like that.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
I'll look it up.
And of course, you know, Felger went to BU, so he was like, "Oh, I don't want this weak BC guy."
He's so gross, really gross. It was an H. Oh,
that's what it.
Yeah, Aiden Hreschuk, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Long Beach, California. Yep.
So he's supposed to be in the top 5, 6 area.
Okay.
Yeah, the top guy is so number 1 overall in all the different mock drafts was a defenseman who every different, you know, news person says that's the number 1 guy. No matter who gets the pick, that's the number one. Everyone from 2 to 6 is a mixed
all over the
bag.
place. Yeah,
they're like 4 of them are centers, which they highly need. Bruins definitely need a center.
Yep.
And as they said, you know, that there'll be 5 good players and 1 bad player, and the Bruins will get the bad player.
We'll figure it out unless we get the BC kid.
Yeah,
God willing.
So yeah, I thought I'm like, oh, a good thing Timmy doesn't listen to this because even Maz was shitting on BC.
Well, we're shit all over us because we can't fucking fight our way out of a wet paper bag. Like the team that's on the ice. Well, I told you though, one of our agents is a former player. He played in the early '80s, and he was like, no. He goes, we're pretenders, Timmy. We're pretenders, and we just couldn't get anything done.
No, I tell
Beanpot, Hockey East, none of it. It's terrible.
I watched the only game I watched was the one against Bentley, and it like
terrible.
By far, they had way more better talent than Bentley, but they just couldn't. They were playing kind of like how the Bruins played this year. It turning the puck over.
Oh God!
It's like, what are they doing? It's like overthinking. That's exactly
BC. When we're skating, it is like watching, and I've said this a million times. It's like watching the Canadians in the '80s when we would be over at your cousin's house, and it was just tick, 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 tape to tape, flawless, always. And you know, I of course, oh God, drawing a blank. 98.5. You just said his name.
Felger, Baz.
Yeah, Felger, Rippon. Yeah, BC historically is like little tiny gnomes. Like our kids are always like 3'9", but they're fast as fuck, right? And like when we had a lot of that this year, but just It was dump and grind, bad hockey. Like as soon as a game starts and I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, they fucking went out drinking last night. Like you can see it immediately. Like they're not dialed in.
Yeah.
And it was just a whole year of that, which is heartbreaking because we were lucky enough to get Leonard to come back last year after his freshman year. And then I'm like, he's not going to stick around. And sure enough, he's gone to the Capitals and off to skate in the playoffs, right? Fucking aggravating. Well, I mean, I'm happy for him, but it's aggravating.
On the number one team in the NHL.
Yep. It's a pretty good.
So Winnipeg has more points than them right now, but they're one of,
Yeah.
Capitals. I didn't even realize until that his debut, I hadn't really, and because I was so sick of the chase for Gretzky's goal record.
Yeah.
So I kind of like zoomed out on that stuff.
Yeah.
And I just was like that night when he was playing, it was like, they have 100 and a point. I'm like, what? I'm like, Capitals are that good this year? I had no idea they were that good. I just thought they were just following the Capitals because Ovi's trying to break the record, which he finally did on Sunday.
Yep.
Which I think like nobody really saw. It was on national TV, but it was up against so much stuff.
Yeah, no, but I agree with that. Well, here's the thing. You can't take away from him because I had in my head, and I don't know where I got this information, but of course I don't do any research, so welcome to the show. I had stuck in my bean that he had this landslide of games. Like he had more time. Like you could argue the whole like LeBron and MJ, but MJ did it in a tighter window. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like it starts getting reported everywhere. I'm like, oh shit, he's about to do it in the same amount of games. And then to his credit, and this is where the fight starts, and I'm on board with this fight. He has 1,300 less assists than Gretzky. So you're talking about a playmaker and a goal scorer.
Yeah.
And credit. Here's where I'll give him his flowers. Yeah, he's way behind on assists, as is the rest of the universe, because Gretzky was a fucking golden god in that regard. I will give Ovi his credit on the fact that he has done it in one sweater. And nothing against Gretzky, because even Bobby Orr got traded to the fucking the Blackhawks. Like players like that always get moved on. The fact that he's been able to do it as a Capital, I'll give him credit for that, because that's been pretty fucking cool. And that city's been pretty lucky to watch that happen. I mean, if you can imagine that you've been watching that whole thing take place. And it's so funny when you look at the picture of him and when he first came into the league, and Gretzky still has like no gray hair and no wrinkles. Yeah. And Ovechkin looks like just like a Ukrainian weightlifter. And now he's all gray and huge. Like he's a monster now.
It's like Gretzky wasn't a goal scorer. So I was just looking it up because I was said if you take away all his goals,
yep,
he still leads all-time points by like 100 points. That's just his assists. He leads all-time points. Like that's crazy.
Do you think I would presume if something amazing happens in DC that he's obviously going to be done? Do you think he comes back if they don't get there? Or do you think he's got to be like, I think I'm good?
I mean, he had a good season. And that's another thing. It's like Gretzky's the great one, the greatest all time. Him winning the goal scoring record, I'm fine with. And he's a pure goal scorer. And he had a really good year. I don't think he needs to wrap it up. Like he wasn't holding on this year just to break the record. He's good, and he's top goal scorer on one of the best teams in the league. So I don't see him leaving just because he broke the record. Like he could definitely come back next year. And
still be valid for sure. Yeah.
So what would you rather do? I know Elway got lucky. Elway won back-to-back, and then he called it.
Yeah.
Would you, if you're at that, so where Ovi's right now, if they win the Stanley Cup, would you rather walk away after winning a Stanley Cup knowing you just won it, or would you want to try and run it back again to win another one? You're at, the age where you're near done. Like, you definitely could still play, but you're at that time where you can just walk away.
I think this season where he's got so much, like the fact that you just did the goal scoring thing.
Yeah.
If you can frost the cake this season,
Yeah.
like that's like there's going to be a bronze statue next October outside the building.
Yeah.
Fucking end of story.
Yeah.
And you come back for Ovi night, right?
I think that's Brady should have walked away after he won the Super Bowl with Tampa that year.
Yep. Point proven.
Shouldn't have come back for the year after.
Yep.
But that's also another thing.
But the competitive nature of these guys is the reason they're so fucking great. End of story.
Right.
Like, and
I was just gonna say the same thing. That's why they're in the spot they are, because they love the competition so much, and so it's hard.
Like
it's
Michael
hard
Jordan isn't going to lose on the golf course. He's not going to lose in his dressing room rolling dice with the security team. Like everything was like everything. I love that. Shut up. There's a great meme of him, which I'm sure you've seen a million times when he's like, he goes, when he did that, it became very personal for me. Like, it just, everything was a competition for him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like the bet. Like, you're not, this, like, you're not. Kevin knows I'm fucking terrible. I always tell the story about when I went to go play with him at Mount Pleasant years ago, when I was pulling into the parking lot and he was taping his wrist. I'm like, he's taping up. He's playing with me. Like, he didn't need to tape up, but he's so competitive. Like, you're not going to go play golf with Kevin. And he's like, oh, we're keeping score.
Yeah.
And he knows I have a 36 handicap. So he's like, I'm going to beat you by 100 strokes. I'm like, yeah, sure. Awesome. Where's the cart, girl? Yeah, people like that are just wired differently. So I'd love to see him, because obviously we don't know. Let me check the time. 4:15. We're fucked. Yeah, the Bruins aren't going to be in the playoffs. So I'm happy to root for Ovi.
I think
just to see it be storybook.
They officially got eliminated, I think, last night.
Shocking. What was really cool, another feather in his cap, the game. So Sunday was when he broke the record, and they were in the game. The game before that, their opponent was going, I forget who they were playing, but their opponent went empty net, and he skated over and left the ice. And his coach is like, we could do it. And he's like, I'm not doing it on an empty net.
Yeah.
I love that he did that, because somebody else might have been like, sure, I'll take the fucking goal.
Like Strahan sack when Brett just laid down.
Brett's like, yeah, you just come over near me and I'm just going to lay down and we'll be good. Yeah. I love that he did that. So I give him credit. Because I had stuck in my head that he did it. He had so much more time. He didn't, which is crazy. But the only thing people can point to is that he doesn't have the assist at Gretzky, but they're two different players. Yeah. And the fact that he did it in one jersey is awesome. And it's funny, they're showing the mythology of him as a capital, and they're going back to some of the old shit, like the blue and the gold with the eagle with the stars. I love where their logo is now. Some of their shit, the Capitals have been down a bumpy. I'll give our teams credit. The Bruins have never fucked with it. The Red Sox have never. I mean, they're doing like City Connect, and we get the marathon colors, and those are dope. Patriots have stayed in the arena. The Celtics. There's some stuff that the Celtics have done that I'm not in love with. Like there's the neon green stuff. Like there's some stuff the Celtics have done. But for the most part, the Celtics have stayed true to, like, I find the NBA fascinating, where there's just like, they'll just be like, we're just going like the same team, same logo, but they completely blow it up. And they go in a super weird direction. And I always think I just think monetarily, it like just amazes me. I'm like, so they got a whole different fucking floor just to match this jersey. Yeah. It's amazing how much money gets thrown around. And there's some horrible uniform choices with some of these flips with the NBA. Back to you, by the way, Nostradamus, give me my hat back. Your call on the Monster jerseys. Be honest. Did you see that somewhere in the tea leaves, or did you pull that out of your ass?
Nope. I called it before I saw, when I sent that thing saying that they were gonna debut it.
Yeah.
I'd already called that, and when I watched that, Elliott was, not Elliott, yeah, Sam Elliott, right?
Sam
Is
Kennedy.
the Sam Kennedy.
Yeah.
Sam Kennedy was like, might have to do with something that's right behind me," and the wall was right behind me, like, "Oh, it is gonna be the green monster
I
green."
love it. I've seen concept stuff. I think that picture I shared with you guys the other day is like the real deal. I'm only hoping, because it says just the Red Sox on the front, which is cool, and who knows what they're actually going to look like. The concept looks like it's probably true to form. I want to see the back.
Well,
If the numbers,
so
go ahead.
the letters, the Red Sox are printed the way that you were saying that you want the numbers to be. Those are like the letters on the wall.
I get that, but if you turn around, and you would be number 7, of course, it should be in a box.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it looks like the score, like the kids
Yep.
in the scoreboard sliding the numbers in.
Yeah.
If Abreu's not a 5-2 with the boxes around the numbers, they did it wrong. Like, you're so close, and I'm saying this, verbalizing this, praying to the gods, throwing it into the ether. Don't fuck this up. And I already know they fucked it up. I already know they're not going to be in boxes, and they should be in boxes. Like, it should look like numbers on the scoreboard. If they don't have that figured out, I'll be bedazzled. Like, they have to do that. They have to get that right. God willing.
They're not going to be debuted until May. They're speculating May 16th on field.
What's making them wait that long?
I don't know. They're being like, how do you not have all this stuff
like it's not it's not for the marathon. I get that. Like, you bring back the marathon colors for the marathon.
Yeah.
And they're going to start to play those more, like you said, more often, but like, yeah, why would you not pop those off sooner than May 16th?
Yeah.
And they should be out now. Like, and what I'm more excited about is what is the hat? What is the accompanying hat?
Well, let's look to it. Let's see when Wally the Green Monster's birthday is.
Oh. You've got this all figured out.
They all always have these fake birthday. His birthday's May 15th.
Wally's birthday's May 15th. So we must not have a game that day.
Yep.
We're off, right? So what day is the 16th? What day of the week is it?
Let me check.
Is it a Thursday? Is it a Thursday going into a weekend? Or is the 15th is a maybe the 15th is a Thursday and we're starting a Friday series?
Nope. They're off the 15th. 16th is a Friday. They come back home for a weekend series against Atlanta. So
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're going to be in the Monster jerseys. Yep. There it is.
So they'll probably unveil it on his birthday, the 15th, and then they'll wear it the next day. And that's probably what they're going to do.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts behind the celebration?
It makes sense, right? Doesn't it? Like,
yes.
And the players didn't pick this. I feel like they were told, you got to do something that has to do with Wally.
Well, how old is Wally? Because he hasn't been around the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this. It said his birthday is 1997.
Oh, all right.
Well, so he officially debuted on April 13th, 1997, and his birthday is May 15th.
Okay.
Yeah. Wally's official birthday is celebrated on May 15th. And he wears number 97, indicating the year of his debut.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he'll be, so he's going to be he'll be 28.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe they're doing this because it's like his 37th birthday because the monster's 37 feet high. We're overthinking this, clearly. We have a ton of time on our hands.
But we're let's see. Kaylee said, you two and your jerseys and accessories.
I just want a fucking hat. I want the hats to be good.
I know.
That's the hats to be super good.
Those. Yeah. That's so since we're on the Red Sox, have you so the debut of their what's it on? Is it on Netflix? The Netflix show is tonight. Debuts tonight.
Is it so? And does Netflix will drop the whole thing, right? Does Netflix drop the whole thing, or does Netflix sequentially pop them out one by one? I feel like Netflix drops the whole thing because everybody watches Stranger Things all at once.
Yeah, I don't know because yeah.
So yeah, what's been interesting is the whole the Jared Duran thing.
Yeah.
And his struggle with mental health, which I love that they're doing that. I think it's incredible. They're so fucking spoiled because there's cities that have no fucking sports, which I would have to move. I suppose we wouldn't move because it's all we'd know. We'd just be good at macrame or something. I have no idea. Maybe you and I'd have a rattan furniture store. I have no idea what we'd be doing. But
the BC would be a big thing if there was no
fuck off. Sports. No, we'd find a way to fuck up the Beanpot, Hockey East, and the national championship. The proliferation of awesome docu-sports on streaming services, and hats off to Netflix, and they're doing it again with the Red Sox. And then the fact that we're getting so much content for our teams is such an embarrassment of riches. Like Celtic City is amazeballs. I think I've got one to make up from last night that I haven't seen yet. Celtic City's friggin' great.
Now. Damn it.
And then the Red Sox thing drops. And it's like the Jared Duran thing. I don't think it's probably the most prominent storyline, but everybody's like talking about the fact that it's a fantastic series.
But it
kills me to say this, but like Notre Dame's got something coming. Is that on Netflix? I think I told you the whole Notre Dame story's coming to Netflix.
So the team that did the Red Sox, they under budgeted. They like halfway
a lot of handicam stuff. People shooting on their iPhones.
Halfway, 3/4 through the season, they ran out of money and they stopped like following them day by day. So then it was so it's going to be interesting to see how it goes because it's like they're going to have a lot of content at the beginning of the year and then just like check-ins the rest of the season. So it'll be interesting how it all plays out.
Like that meme from SpongeBob, 7 months later.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess last night they knew it was broadcasting tonight. They talked about it last night and actually yesterday on all the radio it broke about the Jaron Duran stuff. And so they said they were talking about it pregame last night before the Red Sox game, and that they gave out the number for the Samaritans that you could call, and there was a special number if you were a teen going through it. And they reported halfway through the game last night that they had a flood of calls going to the Samaritans last night.
That's unreal.
It's a really good thing. And it's there. I mean, I've heard. I wonder if people misspoke, but I heard people say that he attempted.
Suicide. I don't know if they played a clip on EEI. I think they played a clip on EEI, and he was talking, and he said he was in his room. He had the rifle loaded. He pulled the trigger, and it jammed.
Oh my God!
And that's the only reason he's here. Yep. Wow. Yep. So yeah, it's pretty friggin' powerful, and there's a huge platform here, and if they're not stupid, hi everybody at Fenway, if they're not stupid, they'll lean into this.
Yeah.
Like August is its own thing. They're going to do the Jimmy Fund till we run out of funds and Jimmys, right? Yep. Like that's August. And it's always going on. I don't think there's a person that looks at Children's Hospital or Dana-Farber or Fenway and doesn't connect those three every day of their life, right? Yeah. Additionally, lean into this. Yeah. Lean in. Why would you not lean into this and do a whole weekend around it? And I don't know what month it is. I don't know what week it is, but I'm sure there's a month.
I'm sure there's a month already.
There's a mental health month that I'm too ignorant to know about.
Yeah.
But it's such a huge thing. And the fact that they mentioned it on the broadcast and had an influx of phone calls, why would they not do that? Why would they not and have stories of like, I don't know, like, you know, because there's nothing more depressing than having them go to a segment and they're like, so last year we had little Ricky here and we lost him over the winter or whatever. Like there's heart-wrenching stories for 2.5 days during the Jimmy Fun thing.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be heavy shit, but like they've got a chance. They've got a chance to lean into this. Why do they not lean into this? I hope they do. I really do. And this could be his whole. What pisses me off is this is such an emotional connection to this kid now. Yeah. And then we're going to fucking trade him. And it's going to piss me off to no end. And it's inevitable. It's a business. But like, this is going to, when people watch this, because it's hitting tonight, right? Or it launched last night.
She's on it.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, research just timed in with May is Mental Health Month. So they have to do something. They have to do something. And if it hit last night, when do we play at home? I mean, we're home. We're on a homestand right now. I apologize, right? Or are we back on the road?
Yeah. No, we're home. I think through the weekend.
Through the weekend, you're gonna hear in his next at bat, right?
Oh no, they're home till Thursday. Then they go on the road.
So if this, when did this hit last night? Did it hit tonight or it hits tonight? It hits tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it already live on Netflix? I have to look.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking it up too.
I'm looking right now because if it's already live and enough people have watched it, when he steps into that batter's box tonight, the fucking place is going to go crazy for him. He's going to get he's going to get a different round of applause.
Yeah, I don't know if his.
Oh, his actual episode.
I
suppose you're right. I
heard a lot of people say that Casas is in the first episode.
Okay. Where's the Red Sox clubhouse? Red Sox recently added. It's live.
Yeah. So is it?
It's live. I just turned it on. Sorry.
All the episodes available?
That's a great question. I just closed out of it.
Yeah.
Everything's available. All right. Yeah. So the super fans that when this hit this morning, because it probably hit 12 o'clock Western time, right? Or West Coast time. So
episode 4 is the Jaron Duran episode.
His first at bat tonight. The place is going to go crazy. I'm telling you.
So this is I'm got goosebumps like right now. The name of it is called Still Alive.
Yeah, it's going to be a bunch, dude. It's going to be a bunch. He told the story. He loaded the gun. He pulled the trigger and it jammed.
To get through, I have a feeling.
Yep. Yeah. So super fans have already watched the episode. Even if they didn't have time for all 4, they skated right to that puck because they wanted to watch it. I guarantee tonight when he takes bat, when he steps into the batter's box, place is going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. What time are they playing? They 7:10 tonight?
6:45.
Oh my God.
Crochet is on the mound tonight.
With his $1 trillion contract. Yeah. Which I'm excited about, but these contracts scare the shit out of me. They just scare the shit out of me. I know. I love that we locked him up, and I hate that we locked him up because it just never seems to go right for us.
Locked up Campbell for 7 years, I think it was.
Yep.
And that was a team-friendly deal. And,
why are we 6:45? They seem to do this early in the season.
I think it's because of the weather. They try to get it where it's still halfway warm. I mean, last night it was in the 30s when they were playing. So
yeah, yep.
So it worked wearing the Orioles jersey last week because then Devers went off and they lost last night. Was the first game they lost since.
What happened right after the show? Didn't we talk about something on the show and then right after the show something happened? Was it Devers shaking it off? Something happened after the show and I'm like, everything we do happens after the show, like right after the show. I forget what it was. But
he got the hit that night.
Was that the night that he shook? Okay. Yeah. They're dangerous right now, which is great. Like the pitching, which I thought we would be struggle bus at the plate and the pitching would be not perfect, but
Yeah, they're
consistent.
their fourth and fifth starters are still sketchy. You know, they're Bayo, who's pitched. I think he's pitched 2 rehab starts for Worcester. They're
Yeah.
saying he probably has 2 more, so he'll be back up in. I'm guessing Patriots Day weekend. He'll be back, and then Giolito is a little behind him, so I'm guessing May for Giolito unless he has any setbacks. And
Yeah.
then that's our starting.
That's the 5. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's our starting rotation. And then Cutter Crawford, I haven't heard any updates on him. I think.
And the kid the other night from Texas, did you see that whole story? The kid that pitched the other night. Yeah, Dobbins' dad is a Red Sox fan, so he grew up a Red Sox fan.
Oh wow!
And they were
I didn't hear that.
So they're Texas. His dad's a Red Sox fan, and I forget how that came about. So he was raised as a Red Sox fan, and they're talking to dad. Dad's like losing his fucking mind, of course.
Yeah.
And they're interviewing mom, and she couldn't get through the interview. She's just like a mess, just like crying. She's like, "This is just unbelievable." Blah blah blah.
The roles would be reversed for me and my wife. I'd be the one to be crying and can't get through the interview.
Steph would have the eye black on, packing a dip. Yep. Yeah, we knew Tyler would have a good slider. Worked with him in the backyard. Yep. That's funny. Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, they got a good crew. This is awesome. And getting back to the Wally mask, there's a lot. People were talking about all the different things like that. The Hulk fists the other year were stupid. I didn't like that. I did love the laundry cart. I thought that was super funny and it was really fun. And I know everything's going to have its season. The Wally mask to me, and I'm not really a germaphobe, but that thing's going to be like,
it's going to be nasty,
fucking gross soon. And I also don't know the inner workings. Like I have to imagine there must be some molded rubber helmety part of the inside where they can rinse it out. Still gross. Still gross. I mean, that thing's, they're going to have to remix that thing pretty soon.
They're like, I'm sure they got multiple ones. Like, players are superstitious. They're going to want to have the same one all year.
That's what I was going to say. Like, they're going to have to remix it pretty soon, but they're not going to be like, no, this is the one we've had the whole time.
Yep.
So when they all have chlamydia mid-August because they've been licking the inside of this rubber dome that they've been, it's going to be. Yeah, why is the whole team sick? I can't imagine why. Yeah, they all have a staph infection on their face, you know. It's pretty, I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's going to be so disgusting during a heat wave. But it is what it is.
In Texas when it's 98 degrees, 120% humidity.
and then it just inevitably starts to fall apart and it's going to start to scare kids because Wally's fucking eyes falling off. Yeah, it's an interesting choice.
So
they could have gotten something a little bit. I mean, it's really tight. Like,
I know you don't listen to the Sports Hub. Dan Roach.
I try not to.
Dan Roach has been filling in this past week for someone.
Yeah,
and I think Toucher. I think he's filling in for Toucher. And he's explaining on the radio to children that it's not really Wally's head. And Hardy's on there like, really? Are you like? And it's like, stop. And what? Yeah, you gonna tell them that Santa's not real too?
Oh my God, there it is. There it is.
I was like, oh my God, I like this.
Yeah, it is. It's the most maniacal, creepy version of Wally possible.
Oh
I feel like they grabbed like a blind kid and said, "We're gonna feed you full of drinks. We're gonna explain a police sketch to you, and then you're just gonna knit till your hands don't have feeling anymore." Yeah, it's pretty maniacal looking. I'm like, I don't know if I love this. They could have just got like a smaller, scaled down version of the Wally head that poor bastard that pretends to be Wally.
I mean, why not use the same size one? That would even be better.
That'd be even funnier. Correct. Yeah, because it's clearly going to fit on them because they're big, fat, huge athletes. But yeah, it's an odd choice. It's so tight and gross, and that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, I can't imagine shoving your head in there. It would ruin the coif. But anyway, Patriots updates. Do we have Patriots updates? We're going to make Masters predictions, I suppose, before we go to.
Just the countdown to the draft.
That's it. Couple weeks away. Who's your favorite for the Masters?
I'm going with them. Probably my fifth year in a row, Rory.
Rory again. All right, I love it. I'm going to go with my usual dark horse, Max Homa. Even though he left, I hate that he left Titleist. So he's a Strixon Cleveland kid now. Is he Strixon Cleveland? Oh, sorry, he's Cobra. He's Cobra, Puma, Lululemon, and he used to be a Titleist FootJoy kid, which kills me. But I do love him, so I'm rooting for him. And he's a dark horse. I don't even know where he is in the standings. Rory's obviously got a huge fucking chance because he's playing good golf right now. And that all starts in a couple days. I love that. Like right now, in the morning, you just put on the golf channel and they're just hanging out. And they're doing something special with the broadcast too. Like they're gonna be live from the tee boxes at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Nice.
Yeah, they're doing so obviously Thursday and Friday is ESPN, and then Saturday, Sunday CBS. Kaylee. She wants an apology for Paige Beckers. Look at you. Won't do it. So grumpy.
What do I got to apologize for?
Not supporting her. Not supporting her.
Okay.
Okay.
She's still not as good as Caitlin Clark.
That's the game we have to go to, which we couldn't afford to get into, of course, because it'll be astronomically priced.
Right.
But can you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But wait a minute, Princess. If I get us into a Paige Caitlin match, would you go?
Sure.
Sure. Oh, you're so troubled. What if they played at Kowloon? In the boat, in the main dining room.
Tickets are free.
The tickets are free.
Oh, actually, you know what? So they play at Mohegan Sun. So, well, she has to be drafted by Connecticut, which I don't think she's gonna be.
No, I thought for some reason I thought LA had the first pick, but then they corrected me last week, and I'm not going to look it up because I don't do any research. Yeah, I forget where she's going to go. I think somebody said Washington actually, which is horrifying. So
I don't think they'll be anywhere near us to watch.
No, well, you never know. Who knows? I'll get my best people on it. If you say you'll go,
if the tickets are free, I'll go.
If somebody sponsors it, all right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get you fully sponsored. I think that's it. We're escaping. We don't know when we get everybody back because everybody seems to be stuck in hair and makeup for like all the weeks. Adam was a late punch out. We penalize him for that. We start finding people.
So next week I'm.
Oh boy! Oh, we're figuring this out now. I love this. All right.
I think I'm only good Wednesday.
Oh boy! Oh boy! So you are good Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right. We'll keep it on
Tuesday. Tuesday, where we have the whole AAA group going to the Ford Truck Club meeting at Top Golf.
Oh, in Canton?
Yeah, so we're sponsoring it, so everyone's got to be there.
Are you shirtless at these events? Do people want the same image of you from the side of the truck, or do you actually wear clothes? You wear clothes?
I wear clothes, yeah.
Do you wear clothes because Steph's there? Like if Steph wasn't there, you'd take the clothes off, though, I'm sure.
Actually, she will not be there.
So you might be shirtless.
She has to man the office. Well, I don't drink, so
we might get naked shoes. Happening. All right. You don't. Yeah. What's your number now? How many days off the schneid?
It's December 1st was the first day.
That was the first day. Okay. Yeah. I haven't. Hang on. I'll check. Alexa, how many days since December 29th, 2023?
Friday, December 29th, 2023 was 465 days ago.
465 days ago.
I can't catch you.
I can't catch you. I'm just like Gretzky, skating away from you. You. Oh my God. All right, we'll be back at it next week. Rubbish Shoes has decided we'll see you on Wednesday. We appreciate you hanging out. We would love for you to comment, subscribe, share, and like. You can do that at atbshow.com. Brought to you by our dear friends Joe and Leslie at AAA Work Trucks. Hopefully the other bag of assholes will show up. Maybe we'll have Corey. Maybe we'll have Adam. Maybe we'll have Uncle Dukes. If not, you're going to get our two delightful mugs back at it right here. Have a great week. We'll see you soon. See you, Rubbish Shoes.